Good morning. It is Friday and it is time for your history video. Now, I forgot to put the one up yesterday, and I'll cover a little bit of that in this one today. But you are getting ready for quiz next week and then a test as well. Quiz will be on on Monday, and the test will be on Tuesday most likely. And so we need to make sure that we are following, getting the worksheets done. I'll have those back to you by Monday. And then also especially the study guides, those would be really helpful for you. But also the notes, because the notes are what you can use for the test. And the study guides will help you to know the things to study for. As far as the test goes, you'll have a good bit of basically what was on the quizzes, but you'll have some other things added to that as well. Your reading today basically takes you through the end of the chapter. I will basically give you an understanding here of exactly what you're going to be doing. And for your work text pages, you'll have just page 19. Now, the back of 19 is a study guide for the next test coming up. And in other words, it's the things you're going to be learning in the next chapter. And it is, actually, there is none. I don't know why I give you work text page 19. I guess it should be. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at science, sorry. So it's 15 through 19, and you got 16 through 15, 16 and 15 that you're going to be working on. So next week we will give you a little bit more of a study guide on pages 16 and 17. And then you'll have the test. And so, but as far as your pages for 15, you notice that sometimes they don't cover everything on that page isn't covered by the reading, and I had mentioned that before. There is a thing to do on page 14 that should have been from yesterday, and that is an essay to write. Now, I'm not going to be too hard on the essays right now, but we will find some information that would, or we're going to be given some information starting next week about writing and how to write paragraphs, how to get information for paragraphs, how to organize it, that type of thing. So we'll be doing that together, and then we'll get to the one on the test. There is going to be a one on the test that won't be too hard on this time. It's a learning experience for each of you. Although sixth graders, you've had a little bit more experience, but that should give you an understanding of what you got to do. All right, so if you look at your pages from yesterday, which were pages 12 through 14, you basically learned about how things happened after the flood. Now, this is sort of overlapping Bible right now, you can see. The one thing I like about the Bob Jones books is that they've started to not overlap, but they started at the beginning of every book, and when it's talking about history, it talks about God's first history, and so that's what they're focused on. And then you get here to the geography and earliest civilizations in those 3 pages, and culture and how things, the geography was after the flood, how things were after the flood. Of course, we don't know everything because it's not complete in the Bible, but then you get up to the Tower of Babel, which of course we had talked about in the Bible as well. And so some of this should be pretty familiar. In fact, this test shouldn't be too difficult. Most of you did fairly well, okay, on that quiz. That is not going to count for points. But you are also be understanding that the things that you need to write down are pretty clear. And so those are the things that you need to work on as far as making sure that you get it as notes. So the particular today, you've got things about the features of a civilization. You'll certainly want to know that, what each of those things are, how to describe them. Also, you see that there are terms like monarchy that are at the bottom there. You can write down. And then you have things about life in Enoch, the city that was built by Cain, named after his son Enoch. And then also the basically the life of the people at that time, those early people that lived on the earth after the flood. And then you have a section on true religion versus false religion. And this is the blue box that's on page number 19 in your book. And so you want to focus on that and make sure that you understand that most of the questions that we have for essays are going to be about the religions that we run into and the beliefs that they've had. It's important for us to understand what other beliefs are so that we can compare them to the Bible. We can understand why they are not right in what they're doing. And so it will behoove you to do that, to make sure you understand that. And this one is just talking about true religion versus false religion. It's not talking about a particular religion at that time, although they did have, obviously, on Tower of Babel, some kind of an idol that they were worshiping. All right. So you have work text pages. I think today it's 15 and then 16, but or 6 and 15. Sorry, 6 and 15. But only those parts that are covered by pages 15 through 19, which is the end of this chapter. And so, as you do those, you'll run into in 15. It talks a lot about the features of Cain's civilization. Same thing on 16. On page 6, you've got a continuation. I really don't like necessarily the way they do these worksheets, but this is the way they have them. There's just a lot of good information there about the first civilization of Cain's city, and then of course the other one is a study guide. All right, well, that's it for today. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye. Don't forget to watch the science video if you didn't watch it already.